the Trump administration allowed in 59 white South African refugees into this country, claiming that they were fleeing racial discrimination and land appropriation. So the South African president has been actively...
So apparently for the craziness that is happening, Trump allowed 59 refugees in America. And everyone is just calling him racist at this point because, oh, you're shipping out these illegal aliens. And you're taking in refugees. But why is he taking refugees? They're being threatened by the blacks that have taken over South Africa and killing the farmers, and they're farmers. And people are just going nuts and crazy about it. Look at the amount of refugees the Americans have taken on for the past couple of years down the line. And he took 59 refugees. And the internet is going wild about it. But let's continue this video.
Denying that persecution. He says a refugee is someone who has to leave their country out of fear of political persecution, religious persecution, or economic persecution. They don't fit that bill.
You sure about that?
What the?
We've not called for the killing of white people, at least for now.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter. They freak out. It sounds like a genocidal thing.
Cry babies.
Crybabies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now.
I can't give you a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now.
Shoot to kill, Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Afghan.
Did he say kill the poor, the farmer? Maybe I misheard, or the bull or something like that.
Refugees, people who helped us during the Afghanistan war, helped us and protected our troops. That program has been dismissed. The fact that Haitians that are truly refugees, they have been denied protected status.
So what do you think is the bottom line, Sonny?
Well,
no, but I mean, for all of the attacks of the Trump administration at the time campaign made on the Biden administration over what I agree was a disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, we're once again betraying the Afghan people by saying if you are here under civ and you have a right as a refugee, you fought alongside us, we're sending you back to hell.
Yeah, we are
to
welcoming
daily beatings, a lack of basic freedoms. But it's a double betrayal.
Picking beasts with allies. It tracks with everything
what was
else.
that, Joy?
They're not white people. That's why they don't want them here. It's obvious.
That's crazy statement. They're not looking at what these people from South Africa is bringing value. They're farmers. So naturally you would think they're gonna add to the economy and grow it instead of just taking random people that don't have the beliefs of the United States. They have their own belief and they're gonna bring that own belief here. And it's only 59 people. What are 59 people gonna do? You could say, they're gonna do crazy things, but I think Trump did a good vetting process, right? Come on. These people are fleeing from their land in South Africa to avoid being, unalive, because the guy said, we're gonna pause the killing of white people for now. That's just crazy. And she just said because they're white. Don't get me wrong, there are probably a lot of other people that need support, but what the value are they gonna bring? You can't just do things out of guilt, right? Because if you do it out of guilt, what's gonna happen? We're gonna turn into South Africa because they let in the refugees. They want to help. They want to feel nice, and that was the downfall of that country. Because they let in the people without, let's help them, and you let them in, and now they want to take over. They want reparation, just like America, where the blacks, so we want reparation. You give them power out of guilt or whatever. That's how you lead a nation to destruction. Because you're doing it out of emotion, which we know comes from the devil. You're living the imagination, the thoughts, and you're gonna get the feeling. You're gonna feel bad. You're gonna do it out of guilt. That's not love. That's hate. You hate the person or the people you're letting in, and you don't even realize. Instead of being critical, I'll be like, okay, they're being threatened to be killed. They're farmers. Okay, they can add to us. Not just because, they're getting killed and we're going to take them in. No, he's critical and logical about the decision that he's making. But we have another video coming up of when Donald Trump was in office with the South African leader, and you won't believe what happened. Watch this.
Off cordially enough, but soon President Trump told his staff to dim the lights and play a video to the South African leader, which he said verified his claims about the killings of white farmers. Here's some of that exchange, starting off with Cyril Ramaphosa talking about how he planned to discuss the matter with the US president.
So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and then is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and I have to. It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. But you are starting with this whiteness. You are cutting the throat of whiteness.
That's crazy. That's what they named this. That President Ramaphosa ambushed by video of genocide claims. That's crazy. That's crazy. Kill the farmer. Shoot to kill. Kill the boar. Said kill the poor and the farmer, or kill the bull, the farmer. Let's see if we can pull it up what it's saying.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross. And there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all
Trump makes a discredited genocide
and those
claim.
cars aren't driving; they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But, okay,
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's
we'll need to find out.
Thanks so much, President Trump, and it's Austin from EMCA in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation
I
that we've
don't
just
know.
seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. 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 Horrible death. Death. I don't know.
But you know
To
that
pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all. I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say what would I like to do, I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it isn't?
Well, I can do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party.
So those people are in parliament in South Africa government? That's crazy.
Which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
And then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The
been
farmers are
utilized.
black. The farmers are not black.
We
I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off, they died violently, and, you know, I mean, we
So if there's this much crime happen in South Africa, are you doing anything to control the violence? Because South Africa wasn't like this early on in long days. It's because the black people, they have no self-control, and most kids, let's be honest, a lot of the black community, even here in Canada and the state, they grew up without the fathers in their home, and the fathers are needed in the home. So these kids have principles, and they have some accountability, right? But they're raised by their mother. They become emotional men, and then they grow up to be oppressors of the people and of society because they're ruled over by their mother. This is in the Bible, and it's spiritual because they take on the spirit of their mother. They take on the emotion part of their mother, and they don't know how to deal with frustration and insecurity. They act out on it, and it's crazy to see.
to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here, but I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible, but if they weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, if we had real reporters, they'd be covering it, but the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that.
Alright, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section on this particular subject. Should Trump have allowed the 59 South Africa, 59, to come into the US to try and help them? Let me know what you think.